This is gonna spark some conversation, some debates. Why? Because we got top 50 greatest WWE finishers. This is my Tap Out Corner. Let me see your top 50, cuz if y'all would switch your top 50 or your top 10, man, let me know in the comments, bro. I'm gonna put in my 2 cents as well. Let's see what's up. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's freaking get it, cuz. Boom.
Which WWE finisher is the best? We rank the top 50 to find out. Starting off with number 50, the Cobra. Some of you might think I'm insane for including this finisher on here, but I had to. Yes, the Cobra is a joke finisher, but I like to laugh. I definitely did whenever Santino Marella pulled this one out. Number 49, the Pedigree. It might be a bit controversial putting such an iconic finisher this low on the list. I don't think the Pedigree is a bad finisher.
48, the Pedigree.
It's exciting enough to watch, and it can be performed on anyone, regardless of size. However, I just think there are better finishers out there. Like number 48, the Final Cut.
49,
it's a cool
my
name
bad.
And a cool finisher. It's essentially a neck breaker, but it feels more impactful thanks to Goldust lifting up his opponent before flipping them around. Also, it just looks nice.
And that Pedigree at 49 is crazy. Let me know in the comments, man. Does it deserve to be higher? I mean, listen, this is by Triple H. This is Triple H's finisher. Won so many championships with it, man. Was he a 14th time, 15th time? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Look, the Pedigree. You underhook the fucking two arms, man. He's strapped. Doesn't matter the size. And you just dropping on his head. Dropping on your knees. You're jumping and drop on your knees. You land on your knees, and his head is smushed between your fucking under your balls and the canvas. Could put a nigga out, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I really can't getting smashed. Just bang, man. I don't know, man. 49. When Seth Rollins does it, I don't like it. I'm sorry.
I don't know how else to describe it. The Final Cut is a pleasure for the eyes, but not as nice of a pleasure as number 47, Pay Dirt. This is a finisher that several wrestlers have used, but Shelton Benjamin does it the best. I like the height he gets when he jumps up.
That's a finisher?
And just the way that Shelton performs it looks great. Now, it is a finisher that benefits a lot from a good opponent. When the person taking the Pay Dirt sells it right, it looks really good. And when they don't, well, you know.
Damn, he tried to oversell that.
Some people call this the Unprettier, and that's fine.
That's the Unprettier to me, man.
On top of the name,
that's the Unprettier to me, man.
Christian using his back to drive his opponent's face into the canvas. Plus, it looks smooth the way Christian grabs his adversary's arms and twists them around. Number 45, the GTS. The Go to Sleep is a very fitting name for this finisher. Means someone.
Also, if you have somebody with the Unprettier, and you like if his head is tucked in, against your back, and you drop, landed on his head, he could hurt a neck, right, bro. So that could be that Unprettier could be devastating, man, depending how the opponent takes it. You know, 'cause some of them, they like to oversell, and then something goes wrong. The Unprettier,
in the face, then watching their lifeless body crumble to the mat is very entertaining to watch. That sounded more sadistic than I meant for it to be. Anyways, the GTS is a great finisher, but not quite as great as number 44, the Salida del Sol.
Hold on. Looking at that GTS, you have him over your shoulders, then you drop him, have your high knee up, bang, go to sleep. Okay, I'll have it a little higher than the Pedigree, to be honest. Yeah. I'll put it higher than the Pedigree, man. The Pedigree at 49, though, I don't know.
Also called the sliced bread, the Salida del Sol is not a particularly popular finisher, but I always like seeing it. While other wrestlers.
This is his shit. This is his list.
Have used this finisher, I think Kalisto did it best. Normally, wrestlers performing this move land on their knees or stomach. Kalisto, though, managed to land in a sitting position, which looked even better when he hooked the leg for an easy pin. I'm sure some of you will disagree with me, and that's fine, but come
that finisher.
on. That one Kalisto did
I remember this.
Awesome.
This. This was crazy. This was nuts. Shit like that, yeah, you're done. You're done. But with his finisher, I taking it regularly on the canvas with no ladder, nothing there in the bottom. Like, I like that when he drops your head, the back of the head hits the canvas. You could be unconscious for a little while, like a little woozy, dizzy, and then he hooks you right away for the pin. 1, 2, 3. So I kind of like that as a finisher as well. You know, when you call it a finish, it's supposed to finish you like you're done type shit. Like it's over for you. Like your opponent cannot move on the counter, can't make it to the counter 3. But that could be a finisher as you finish the match with that type of maneuver. Have the opponent unconscious and shit like that, and then you hook them up right away. They don't know what's going on. 1, 2, 3, boom. But
Number
that
43,
was
the Brock
nuts.
Lock.
He's
Moving
Jimmy
on to
was
submission
done after
finishers,
that.
The Brock Lock is more obscure, but I think it's pretty sweet. Brock Lesnar introduced it during his first WWE run.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk a lot, so bear with me. If y'all don't want this type of commentary, man, I'll put the link in the description. Y'all can watch it for yourselves.
And it looks vicious, especially when Lesnar would start sitting on his opponent. I love the visual too of Brock wrapping his opponent's leg
Brock's
on
is
his
just a
neck
big,
and bending it.
strong
Lesnar sadly
mofo,
didn't
bro.
bring the Brock Lock
Lumberjack.
back with him when he returned to WWE, but I wouldn't mind seeing the submission finisher brought back by someone else.
That is
Number
just...
42, the Jackhammer. There are so many little things about this finisher that make it great. I loved how Goldberg would pause after putting his opponent's arm around his neck, giving just a moment to build
terrible match.
Goldberg would also hold his opponent up in the air as long as possible to again build anticipation and get the crowd hyped. Then it all paid off with the impact. Number 41, Razor's Edge. What really makes this finisher is the height. Razor Ramon always managed to get his opponent as high as he possibly could before sending them crashing down. It made the move catastrophic, and honestly, it was like his opponent was being hung on a cross. I guess that's why Mordecai used this exact finisher years later. Number 40, the Big Ending. I don't know why, but I find it hard to describe what makes Big E's big ending good. I guess one is how smooth and effortless Big E made it look. No matter the opponent's size,
what's it doing? Where's the damage at?
The same speed and land with the same
He
impact
drops.
and explosiveness.
So he drops, and when they land, the opponent's ribs lands on his shoulders, his big ass shoulders. So he's landing on them rock solid shoulders, man. That could hurt you as well. But that is that the only damage he gets? Does the opponent get? I'm trying to look at the face. Bobby just blocked it. So it's basically more of a midsection type of, hurt your opponent in the midsection finisher. But the way he pulls it off is so smooth, it makes it look like a great finisher. I say great because it says 50 greatest. So, what number is this? I'll find out soon. But I don't know, man. Listen, you gotta dissect these type of finishes, bro. You can't just accept it because it looks cool. Nah, I gotta dissect this shit. You're attacking the midsection. Big ass shoulder. You're landing on him after you getting dropped. So all the air has came out of your body. Go for the pin. If you're out of air, you still can't kick out. Man, I bet Bobby kicked out of this. Oh no, this is where he won the championship. This is where Big E won the championship. He cashed in on this match. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see.
Yes. Something else I really liked is how often Big E was able to counter an opponent's move and turn it into a big ending, which really says a lot about the man's strength. Number 39, the Zigzag. This finisher really speaks to the ability of Dolph Ziggler.
That finisher
is
great. It's a pretty
simple move, just grabbing the opponent's back and yanking them down. But I think it's how exaggerated Ziggler is with his body that really makes this finisher work. And I know it's now called the Danger Zone, but to me, it'll always be the Zigzag. Number 38, the Insane Elbow. The elbow drop is a classic wrestling move, and it looks great. But I'm going with Kairi Sane's version of the finisher, much like how Arn Anderson...
You're taking Kairi Sane's over Macho Man, bro? Yeah, he's a kid, bro.
performs a spine buster a bit better than everyone else. The same is true for Kairi Sane. She turns her entire body into the elbow and adds so much to the finisher. Number 37, the body.
I can't take that away from her.
I love this finisher because it's so simple.
But Macho Man is Macho Man. But I gotta give it to Kairi as well, man. Seriously, man.
And smart. Yokozuna was one of the biggest men.
This is something Nia Jax does, so why not make and it doesn't execute her right because she lands so softly. Now, there are and I understand why.
There's a safer
Trying
one
to
that Yoko
pop
would do to bigger
these
names
ladies'
like Hulk
balloons,
Hogan,
man.
and there's also the less safe one that Yoko would give to everyone else. Safety and health aside, the second version looks much more devastating, and is the version I think looks better. Talking about painful moves though, we also have to discuss number 36, the Alabama Slam.
Ooh,
Some finishers are flashy,
that's a
but the
whiplash.
Alabama Slam
Ooh.
is not one of them. It has almost zero spectacle, and just looks rough and raw, which fits perfectly with Hardcore Holly. That's what I like about it. There are a lot of finishers that look great, but don't really look like they hurt, such as the RKO. The Alabama Slam looks like it hurts a ton, which is why it earns a spot on this list. Number 35, the Rough Rider. Sometimes a great finisher is just taking
Imagine a big man doing a freaking Alabama, like Hikuleo, Omas, or Obafemi, doing Alabama slammers, bro. I think they will paralyze a few guys, man. Cause there's a lot of small guys there, man. But bro, big men should not be doing Alabama slammers, man. That's just like it's like you're they're whipping the belt. Psh. Yeah.
existing finisher and building off it, and the Rough Rider is a great example. It's just like a leg drop, but instead of the opponent laying flat on the mat, they're standing up. It's a simple change, but it made it so cool. If Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, ever returns to WWE, I hope he brings this finisher back with them. Number 34, the Claymore.
Well, he does it all the time in the Indies. Just watch his matches in the he does it all. I seen him in House of Glory. He did it there.
This finisher was created by accident. While in the match, Drew McIntyre was trying to perform a big boot, but his pants were so tight that they caused his other leg to get pulled up. In hindsight, this is one of the best things to happen to McIntyre because the Claymore is a great finisher. With that said though, this is a move that looks best with some speed. When Drew hits with little momentum, it doesn't have the same impact as when he does it while running.
I hate the countdown.
When it looks
I hate
good,
it so
the Claymore
much.
looks really good. Now on to number 33,
the Claymore is another RKO out of nowhere, bro. A flying freaking bolt to the face, torpedoing you straight to your face, bro. That Claymore, I hate the countdown. I fucking hate count. 1, 3, 2, 1. Nah, I know it's a thing for the live event for the fans. I get it, but I don't like it personally. Just freaking do it. Like, oh, I can't wait. He about to get like Braun does it with his spears.
Attitude adjustment. I've heard people say the AA is a bad finisher, but I honestly don't mind it. Is it an all-time great? No, which is why I'm putting it at number 33. With that said, I think the move looks good visually, with the opponent being rotated up into the air and then slammed down onto the mat. Speaking of visuals, I loved it whenever John Cena was lifting up someone heavy because you could see the exhaustion on Cena's face, which helped tell a story. Additionally, the attitude adjustment also allowed for some truly memorable moments.
With the tables? Yeah, I saw this. I remember
Number
this.
32, the High Spirits. I think this is the only...
I had a great time during the Ruthless Aggression, man. The Ruthless Aggression days were fun to watch. Great wrestling, the stars that we had. Oh my gosh. That was fun times back then.
In history that requires 5 wrestlers.
The storylines.
High Spirits was used by the Spirit Squad, a group of male cheerleaders that dominated WWE in 2006. Their finisher saw all 5 members grab an opponent and throw him up into the air. The sheer amount of height some of these guys would get was unbelievable. Like how the Bonsai
Isn't that what Dark State does now?
Weight, High Spirits took advantage of all 5 Spirit Squad members. Oh my gosh! Number 31, the Bro Kick. Like I said with the Rough Rider,
the Bro Kick takes anybody's heads off, bro.
And the Bro Kick is another example. It's essentially a big boot, but with momentum added in. I love the kind of fake out Sheamus does too, where he raises his left leg but actually kicks with his right. All those little things are what earned the Bro Kick a spot on this list. Number 30, the Implant Buster. Karma's WWE career was cut unfortunately short, but she had one of the best female finishers. I love how after lifting her opponents up, Karma just held them there for a second. It demonstrated just how powerful she was and how powerless they were. But of course, the impact of the move was the highlight. Oh no! The Implant Buster is such a great name too, especially in the context of Karma's WWE character. And yes, I'm aware it was...
You see some of them putting their knee up, like they don't want to land flat, you know?
Called the Implant Buster before she came to WWE.
She did. She landed flat.
Crossroads. Am I the only one who thinks Cody and Goldust's finishers look similar? Anyway, I like the Crossroads for many of the same reasons as the Final Cut. I like the movement, with both Cody and his opponent being flipped around as the opponent's head is driven into the mat. Now, this is another finisher that depends
Not
on who's
really.
taking
It's
it.
safe,
For instance,
though.
the way Finn Balor takes the Crossroads is fine, but the way Logan Paul takes it looks better. Again, the Crossroads is still a good finisher, just with some inconsistency. Unlike number 28, Trouble in Paradise. Back when WWE claimed Kofi Kingston was from Jamaica, they gave him a finisher that reflected that. While Kingston would later drop his Jamaican accent, he kept the Trouble in Paradise, and I'm glad. The spin and then kick to the side of the head looks devastating, and Kofi performs it so effortlessly. And the leg slap is the icing on the cake. Oh, man! Number 27, the Doomsday Device.
The leg
This
slap.
is
That shit's
legitimately a
hilarious.
dangerous wrestling move, but that doesn't stop it from being awesome. Hawk flying through the air and clotheslining the opponent looks darn near graceful.
Damn.
And as I say that, I now realize why he's called Hawk. However, the other key ingredient is the opponent taking the move. Seeing them flip and come crashing down onto the mat looks brutal, and this makes it not just a great tag team
You got a
finisher, but a great
backflip.
finisher in general. Number 26, the punt kick. Here's another finisher that can cause serious injury if performed incorrectly.
Yo.
Look at the Alabama Slam. The punt kick
We
is
still
not a
haven't
pretty
seen it
looking
yet.
finisher.
We're gonna
looks
see it
very
soon,
blunt.
though.
No pun intended. It's just kicking someone in the head as hard as possible.
God, that
the
scene
punt
is
kick
bad.
is also a great finisher for a heel or bad guy. The only way to do it is if your opponent is already on their hands.
We're getting Randy. It could go. I got a lot to say about that. It could go either way. It could go Cody turning heel on Cena and have that double turn right there in SummerSlam. And then Randy could stay having beef with Cody. You know, after that match they had in Night of Champions. Look at Randy's face. His face was in disgust. Like he wanted to beat the shit out of Cody right there. And Randy, there's gonna be beef there, no matter what. So I'm saying it could be a double turn, and if it doesn't, but I don't know because now this dude is cast for Street Fighter, Cody Rhodes. He's gonna be what's his name, Guile, some shit like that. I was a Street Fighter a fan when I was growing up. Honestly, that eyes. But Cody Rhodes, I don't know. But or since he's gonna be, and they're gonna start filming in August, I think. So if that's the case, can Randy interfere with that match or come out after that match? Cena still retains and Randy just takes him off, writes him off television with a punt kick right there. So Cody could leave and go do his filming. I don't know. Let's see what happens, y'all. Let's see what happens.
And knees and in a vulnerable position. I would even say the punt kick is the most violent WWE finisher. However, this is a video on the best finishers, so let's move on to number 25, the choke slam. It's such a classic finisher that multiple wrestlers have incorporated it into their movesets. Because of that, I'm counting all variations of the choke slam in this entry, which includes the rock bottom, the south of heaven, etc. With that said, a good choke slam really depends on the opponent. I mean, look at the Undertaker
The
giving it to Hulk
opponent
Hogan
and
versus him giving it to Gregory Helms. Still,
you got
the fact that
Jade
multiple
Cargill
wrestlers
doing
have used
choke
the
slams.
slam
I'm like, what
proves
the
just how
hell?
great of a finisher it is. Number 24, the Code Breaker. I'm going to warn you, there's going to be no backstabber in this video. While it is a good finisher, I think the Code Breaker is the better version.
Lovely.
Instead of kneeing your opponent's back, you knee their face. To me, that just seems more vicious, especially when the opponent's body swings backward upon impact. Again, backstabber is great, but give me a Code Breaker any
I'll
day.
take the Code Breaker.
Not literally though.
No,
Number
I won't
23,
take it, but
Murphy's
you know what
Law.
I mean.
This is Buddy Murphy's finisher while in WWE, and first off, the name is great, but that's not the reason it makes the list. Murphy's Law
Because I'm sorry. Because I just like when the opponent just turns around and out of nowhere, you're in the air and bang, you bring your fucking aim. That's some out of nowhere shit too, but you know,
is a literal
doesn't Ricochet do that? The recoil or something like that?
spin on the Angle Slam, Kurt Angle's finisher. I know it's blasphemy to say, but I like Murphy's Law better. Granted, the Angle Slam can be performed on just about anyone, regardless of size, whereas Murphy's Law is more limited. Still, I just think it's more spectacular and more impactful. I gotta obey the law.
That's not
and
a
that's why
finisher.
Murphy's Law
That's not a finisher to me. You're just landing on his back and you're protecting his head. That's not a finisher. That's a signature move or some shit like that. That is not a finish.
Is at number 23. But what
Yeah,
about
you're protecting his head when you turning around. It's just a cool looking move. That's not a finish. No.
Number
That's
22?
his finish,
Soul
but no,
Snatcher.
you can't
Here's
finish.
another finisher
I'll
with a cool
take that,
name
and
also
I'll
builds
still
off
kick
an
out,
existing
honestly.
finisher.
And I'm not a
It's essentially
wrestler.
an RKO, but Sol Ruka flips off the middle rope before hitting it. It looks sick, and man, do I love
Beautiful
it.
move.
In some ways, I actually prefer it over the RKO, largely because of how beautifully Sol Ruka.
Yeah, you're a kid, bro. You're a fucking child. But I see why you would say that, because that move, bro, she could run off the wall and do some shit like that.
Executes the move. It's just great, but not as great as number 21.
She could run off the wall on some parkour shit.
Sweet chin music.
And that'll be
While
fucking
super
dope.
kicks are overused today, you cannot deny that the sweet chin music was a phenomenal finisher.
What number
it's
is
such
this?
A today, you cannot deny that 21.
21 is a sweet chin music.
While super kicks are overused today, you cannot deny that the sweet chin music was a phenomenal finisher. It's such a simplistic move, just a kick to the face. But Michael's tuning up the band, the energy he puts into it, and of course, that sound.
See, I don't like the countdown, but I don't mind this. You're tuning up the band. You're revving up. The fans are getting on. They see what's coming up, and they're getting ready for it. So that I don't mind. I hate the countdown. I really do. Because to me, if I'm the opponent and I'm hearing a countdown, I already know what's going. I already know what's gonna happen. You feel me? Now with him revving up, just stomping, like you could tell, but at the same time, you could be, woozy, dizzy. You may not know what's going on. He probably just taunting or some shit like that, And then when you turn around, boom, kick to the face.
Makes this an awesome finisher. There's a reason everyone adds super kicks to their movesets once Shawn Michaels retired, and I honestly cannot blame them. Number 20, the bank statement. I don't often hear the bank statement brought up as one of the all-time best submission finishers, but here are two reasons why. One is the setup. Sasha placing your knees on her opponent's back and rolling through looks so crisp.
I love it.
The second reason is how Sasha yanks her opponent's body back. It really looks like she's trying to snap someone's spine.
Unlike Cena with the STF, bro. That STF view is fucking garbage, bro. He just puts his arm around your head and he just Like, I don't see no yanking. You're supposed to be fucking yanking. Look at Sasha Banks yanking back, bro.
It just ticks a lot of boxes.
Like,
now,
what the hell?
What's the all-time best tag team finisher? Well, it's number 19, the 3D. With or without a table, this move is phenomenal. Bubba leaping into the air as Devon is raising the poor sucker by his legs looks awesome. Plus, having three men all come crashing down at the same time leads to some major impact. It's also the only tag team finisher that fans start chanting by name once it's executed.
Yup.
Now Victor, set them prize 3D.
Number 18,
you didn't hear a lot there.
619. Like I said earlier in this video, when a wrestler incorporates their uniqueness into their finisher, it often spells greatness, and that's definitely the case with the 619. Rey Mysterio's size and height would often be looked at as a disadvantage, but Rey took that and made it an advantage. Not many people can perform this move, and even fewer can do it well, which is one of the reasons it's such a perfect move. Plus, it's a fun finisher to chant.
I remember doing the 619 in the jungle gym when I was a kid.
Number 17,
Did
the
that with
Lion
no
Tamer.
problem, man.
Between Chris Jericho's two submission
Backyard
finishers,
wrestling.
the Walls of Jericho and the Lion Tamer, I went with, well, the Lion Tamer. Both moves are similar,
Jungle
but the
gym
Lion
wrestling.
Tamer looks more painful, probably because it is.
Damn,
Jericho putting
that
his
looks
knee on his
painful.
opponent's neck really helps sell the
Where
brutality
you
of
going?
this move. Both finishers are good, but the Lion Tamer is my pick.
I like the
Just
Lion
don't
Tamer
actually
as
believe
well.
it. Number 16, the lumbar check. It's not the most famous finishing move, but that doesn't stop Cedric Alexander's lumbar check from being awesome. What I think really sells it is the opponent. When you see someone bouncing
They
off Cedric's
fucking
knees,
bounce.
it makes the
Look!
move look impactful. Now, that is technically a flaw of this finisher, since it can really only be executed on cruiserweight wrestlers. But considering Cedric Alexander wrestled mostly guys his size anyway, this finisher
flopped
worked
like
out
a
pretty
fish.
well. Number 15, the F5. Sure, it's named after a button on a keyboard, but the F5 is anything but basic. The visual of Brock Lesnar swinging his opponent through the air and then hitting the mat looks amazing.
Facts.
Plus, Lesnar can and has been able to perform this move on anyone, regardless of their size. That's pretty impressive. Honestly, the F5 looks kind of like a tornado. Oh, Number 14, the Pulverizer. Say what
F5,
you will about
yep.
Logan Paul, dude's got a sick finisher. What
That's
I really like about the
nice.
Pulverizer is that it's a modified version of another finisher, the DDT. Old school fans will remember Jake Roberts using the DDT as his finishing move, and it was great at the time. However, wrestling has changed, and the DDT is no longer a suitable finishing maneuver. So, Logan Paul adds to it, and boom, you got a great finishing move built off an old one. Number 13, the 450
That's a nice
splash.
move, bro.
This is a finisher that doesn't need much of an introduction.
Pulverizer.
It's been used by so many wrestlers, and for good reason. It looks fantastic. I don't have a favorite version of the 450 splash either. Sure, mistakes can happen, but it's a move that provides almost consistent quality, regardless of who's performing it.
I remember I saw a clip of Will Ospreay. Well, I think it was Will Ospreay. Dude did a double backflip in the fucking air, bro. A 720 backflip, bro.
12, Jacob Fatu's.
There's probably a wrestler that be doing that. There's probably wrestlers that do that shit already right now. But they're probably in the indies. But on TV, I don't think I've ever saw it yet. But he did. I think it was Will Ospreay. He did a fucking double backflip from the top row. I was like, yo.
Moonsault. The moonsault
a double moonsault, basically.
Already a great move, but Jacob Fatu makes a small tweak that makes it even better. Fatu jumps on the second rope and then to the top, where he then hits
that shit
the
don't
moonsault.
look. That shit look difficult as hell to do.
Look smoother and more of a spectacle
And
to
Fatu
watch.
is
You
just,
could call it the best moonsault ever. Number 11,
Fatu is
the
just
curb
smooth
stomp.
with everything.
Seth Rollins struck gold with this finisher. His original finishing move, the Skywalker, looked good, but the curb stomp works even better. I love that Rollins literally shoves his opponent's face into the ground, which works so well for a heel or bad guy. The curb stomp was such a great finisher that it was one of the only moves WWE has banned and later unbanned, which really speaks volumes to both Seth's ability and the finisher's genius.
And he was using the pedigree throughout that whole time that it was banned. And it didn't feel right, bro. It did not feel right. So I'm glad he brought that curb. Now that curb stomp is here to stay.
Number 10, the powerbomb. The powerbomb, in general, is a great finishing move, and one of the reasons is that there are so many variations. Batista's Batista Bomb, the Shield's Triple Powerbomb, The Undertaker's Last Ride, and many more. It's a finisher that invites wrestlers to create their own version. Honestly, this video could have been dominated by powerbomb finishers, so I'm only going to choose one as the all-time best. But who does have the best powerbomb in all of WWE? Well, you might disagree, but I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens' pop-up powerbomb. Owens launches his opponent into the air and then sends them crashing to the ground. It makes an already spectacular move look even better. And what's really impressive—
Pop-up powerbomb to the edge of the fucking, on the apron of the, bro. He used to do that shit on purpose. No. Yeah, he did, yeah. Was it pop? It was pop-ups and also regular power bombs to the fucking edge of the breaking motherfuckers' backs, bro. I will never forget the night Sammy won the NXT championship. Everybody was out there from the locker room. Here comes Kevin Owens celebrating and attacks Sami Zayn. Powerbomb to the edge of the on the apron. I was like, and that was the first time I've ever saw Kevin Owens. I'm like, who the hell is this? And he won me over right there. Right away. Right away, won me over. Then he won the NXT championship. He defeated John Cena on his first match in the main roster. When it was Kevin Owens, NXT champion, John Cena, United States champion. That was epic, bro. I was so happy for Kevin Owens at that time, bro.
Is that it still works, even on guys like Mark Henry and Big E. Number 9, the Tombstone Piledriver. The Piledriver is a classic wrestling move, but I'm specifically going with Undertaker's Tombstone Piledriver.
Yeah, I'll give you the
Why?
Tombstone.
Honestly, it's because of the ending. Taker putting his opponent's hands over their chest and then whipping his hair back is such a great visual, and it not only fits, but adds to his character. There's a reason why WWE allowed The Undertaker to continue doing this finisher even when the Piledriver got banned, and it's because it's the perfect finisher for the dead man. Number 8, the Spear. It's another classic and iconic wrestling move.
Jay, you gotta
also
stop
one
with
of
the
simplest,
fucking
just
spear,
running
bro.
and tackling your opponent. Several wrestlers have
Shard
made
is
this finisher
another
their
one.
finisher, and it's easy to see why. In terms of who has the best spear,
gosh.
though, I would say either Goldberg or Braun Breaker, both for the impact
Breaker.
and explosiveness. And no offense
Now
to Edge, but he
Breaker has
definitely
it.
had the weakest looking spear. Hey, at least he protected his opponent. Number 7, the phenomenal forearm. I was thinking of including Wade Barrett's bullhammer in this video, but then I remembered that AJ Styles' phenomenal forearm is just a cooler version of the bullhammer. Sorry, Wade. The word cinema gets thrown around a lot, but the phenomenal forearm is a move that truly looks cinematic. I mean, just look at these still images. All the momentum and movement Styles puts into this finisher made it easy to include the phenomenal forearm in this video. Number 6, the Swanton Bomb. This is the coolest WWE move ever. Jeff Hardy doing his little finger guns and then doing a diving flip forward is just so cool. Every wrestling fan has at one point thought about
I love your
Swanton
content,
Bomb,
bro.
and it's not hard to understand why.
You could tell he's a child.
Move, and it's no wonder that's been the finisher Jeff Hardy has used for most of his iconic OM.
Remember, this is his list, so this is what he likes. You know, and we're just commentating and all that. I don't know if Swanton is in my top 10, honestly. I don't think Swanton Bomb is in my top 10, though.
Moments. Number 5, the Frog Splash. This is just a spectacular move. Whether it's Rob Van Dam's 5-star Frog Splash, Montez Ford's from the Heavens, or Eddie Guerrero hitting it to win the WWE Championship. The height, the movement, and the impact of the Frog Splash make it a thing of beauty. Like the 450 Splash, I don't have a favorite version.
But
although I will
most
say,
of these
the
wrestlers, this is not their finishers.
Number 4, the Red Arrow. This finisher is another one that's hard to describe with words. I mean, just look at it. It's essentially a shooting star press, but with a literal twist. It looks like a work of art, especially when you see it in slow motion. The regular shooting star press is still awesome, but I think the Red Arrow, or as it's technically called,
Red Arrow would look crazy.
Shooting star press, is the slightly better version. Number 3, the Canadian Destroyer. I've said throughout this video that I love finishers that take existing moves and put a spin on them, and the Canadian Destroyer is the definitive example.
Don't tell me number 1 is the Blue Thunder Bomb. Even though that should be a finisher, though.
The Canadian Destroyer is just a pile driver, but with a flip. On paper, it sounds simple, but I mean, you're seeing the footage. Doesn't that look amazing? It's the perfect blend of flash and force, but there are 2 more finishers that are just a bit better. Alright, for number 2 and number 1, I'm going to share them at the same time. The second best WWE finisher of all time is the Stone Cold Stunner, and the number 1 is the RKO. Now, both of these finishers are...
Like I said, the Blue Thunder Bomb should be a finisher, but I can't be mad with the RKO, bro. That out of nowhere. At you anywhere, bro. Lacking, cause Stone Cold Stunner also catch you once you turn around. Oh shit! Boom! Nice little 2-piece right there. And it's just so iconic, bro.
Great, and it was a really tough decision. But here's why the Viper beats the Rattlesnake. The highlight of the Stone Cold
You better
Stunner,
show me
besides
Seth.
just seeing the move, is seeing how people sell it. There have been numerous fun and creative ways people have reacted to this finisher. However, there's really only one way to give a Stone Cold Stunner.
He said.
The RKO, though, has so many creative setups and ways to execute it.
Oh, look at that beauty right there.
RKO from out of nowhere became an iconic line. It's given us shock, surprise, and some of the most unforgettable moments in WWE history. And that's why the RKO is the greatest WWE finisher of all time.
Oh my God. Top 20 worst WWE finishers. Okay, we're going to have to do that one as well. Stay tuned for that. You made it this far in the video. Appreciate you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's free. Free of charge, yo. And also, let me know in the comments, man. What is your top 10? What is your top 5? What is your top 3? Your top 2? What's your number 1 finisher, man? What's your favorite finisher throughout wrestling, bro? You know, your favorite. Fuck that. Oh, this is the best. Your favorite in your eyes, man. Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you. Till next time.
Goodbye. And good night, bang.
Peace.